Hello everybody, it's Mr. Woods again, and today we are doing databases. What are they? How you can make one? I'll get you started, it's fine. Databases, they're not the most exciting thing in the world, but they are really important, okay? Databases are everywhere. You're probably in some already, even though you don't know about it. So they're important that we know what they are and how they work, okay? So if you look at the screen now, you can see iTunes. iTunes is a database, okay? It obviously just has all your music in it, and a lot of people use it, so it's a good example. As it is now, showing all my nice albums and stuff, it doesn't look much like a database, but if I just change the view from My Music to Playlists, now this screen looks just like a database that we're going to make. So there are many sort of keywords you've got to learn in databases. What we're looking at here, this whole thing here would be called a table. Name, time, artist, album, etc. Those would be called field names, and each track would be called a record. So I'm going to show you how you can set up your own database, and we should probably try and make something a bit like iTunes, I think. So let me just switch over to Microsoft Access. This is the database software we're going to be using. Obviously there are different ones, but yeah, this is a pretty good one, and it's one everybody's got. So as soon as you load up Access, you get this screen here, and it's sort of inviting you to pick a type of database and see what you want to do. We're just going to go with a blank database, but bizarrely, the first thing you must do always is save it. You've got to create a database structure. Without that, you can't run a database. So the file name I'm going to go for is not database1. That's stupid. I'm going to go with MyTunes. Do you see what I've done there? You've then got to choose a location. Now that's very important that you know where you put your files, whatever they are. So I'm going to go to my databases folder, which is there. Okay, so MyTunes ACDB, Access Database, and say OK. I recommend you make yourself a databases folder because you may do more than one database. And then I'm going to hit this big Create button. Straight away, Access says, hey, dude, let's make a table. OK, but I can't just start typing in the tracks that I own. I've got to actually specify what the headings are going to be, what the field names are going to be. So I'm just going to change the view from datasheet view, which we see here, to design view. Now watch closely, just click that button there. Oh, you got to save it. Okay, TBL underscore, because it's a table. It's going to have my tracks in, so I'm going to call the table tracks. Okay, so my database is called MyTunes, and it contains one table called table tracks. Now the field names now run down the side. When we switch back to datasheet view, they're going to go along the top. That is confusing for some people. Anyway, it starts off by providing you with the first field called ID. In a database, every entry, every record must have a unique identifier, usually called ID, but I could change it to track ID because it's the ID for my tracks. The data type is auto number, so it'll just number them for me. I don't have to worry about that. And it's very important that you notice this little teeny tiny key in the corner here. That's this thing here, the primary key. What that does is it ensures that you can't have two number 1s or two number 30s or two number 207s. Okay, every number in that field has to be unique. Okay, so there we go. So I've got the ID number in. Now I'm going to just, the first one there is going to be track, so the name of the track. I suppose I could put track name, might be better. And that's just going to be text. Then length of the track. So what will that be? That might be a time, but it comes with a date. So what I have to do is go down to Format, click this down arrow here, and find the one that's just numbers. Long time, short time. There we are, just minutes and seconds. That'll do for my music. What else? Artist. Who did it? Artist name, I reckon. So that's going to be text, and then probably the album that it came from, album name, which will be text, and then I want an image. So I could have the image of the single, but what if they didn't release it as a single? Then there wouldn't be an image. So I'm going to go with the album picture. So album cover, that's better. Album cover. Now that's not text, obviously, it's going to be a picture, so we find picture. And then it's not there, is it? Look, there's no text, memo, number, date, currency, OLE object. Object, linked or embedded. I think that's what it stands for. It doesn't matter. You want to put a picture in, that's the data type. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fields. That's plenty for now. That's ready, so all I'll do is I'll switch the view. So I'll go up to the view button, I'll just click this to go back to table view. You must first save the table. See, it's really good. It tells you to save things so you don't lose anything ever. So of course, do you want to save it? Yeah. So you click yes. And here we go, back into my table view. And I'm just going to start filling in. So I've got my records going down, and then I'm going to have I've got my fields going down, and I'm going to have records going across. I don't have to type the number, it will do that for me. So let's come up with a track name. Okay, so we'll have Shake It Off, because at time of writing Taylor Swift is quite popular. I don't care about the length really, so I'm just going to put 3 minutes 40. Artist name Taylor Swift. Album name, is it 1989? I think that's a weird name for an album, but okay, never mind. And the album cover. Now I'm just going to pause the video while I go to Google Images and find the album cover. I'm just going to copy and paste it. So I'll just pause, hang on. Okay, I'm back. I went to Google Images. I found a nice small album cover. Some of them were enormous, you know, like 2,000 pixels wide, and that would just be huge, so I didn't choose that one. I picked one that was about 300. And all you do now, look, you watch this, you'll like this, is you paste it in, and it says picture. Well, that's not very good, is it? It's not very iTunesy. I'll show you how to see the pictures probably in the next video, but for now, that's good. Okay, who else shall I do? Something a bit different, something from when I was a teenager. What about smells like Teen Spirit, which is Nirvana, of course, and 2 minutes, I don't know, I don't really care about the time, 2 minutes 50, and that's by Nirvana. Yep, and that's from the album Nevermind. And again, I'm just going to pause it while I go and find the picture on Google Images. And I'm back. I found the image. Again, I picked a nice small one, about 300 pixels wide, so I don't want to overload it. Now look, I've done 2. You could do 2,000 if you wanted. 2 million? Well, you might run out of memory. But, you know, I've done 2. Do 10. That'll do. And there we are. That's how you set it up. So what have I got? I've got a table that contains all the records. I've got the field names, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the ID, 6 field names, and I've got 2 records. You could fill it in. In the next video, I'll show you how to view the records in a much nicer way. Okay, see you later.